Hotel Finest's management was very strict. Guests had to use their room cards in the elevator too. As she wasn't staying in one of the top floor suites anymore, Cherry couldn't access the top level of the building by swiping her new card through the reader. She pouted unhappily. After thinking about it, she decided to return for now to the 38th floor, where her new room was. She could go up the stairs from there. But as soon as she got out of the elevator, she ran into Nora. When Cherry saw the look on Nora's face, she decided on the spot to change her plans. She could still look for Daddy tomorrow, but her mummy was obviously upset and in need of comfort. Nora had called several private investigators, but there was still no leads. If Angela really didn't know where her son was, then her father might be the only one who knew the truth. But negotiating with him for any information would be difficult. He was no simple-minded fool like Angela. Breaking through her swirling thoughts, a small figure jumped over and hugged her leg. "Mummy, I love you so much." Glad for the interruption, Nora rubbed Cherry's head and asked softly, "Where did you go? Did you have fun with Mrs. Lewis?" Cherry looked at her fingers. She didn't dare look Nora in the eye as she lied. "We just walked around the hotel. It isn't any fun here at all. Mummy, let's go to bed." Nora sighed and opened the door. Okay. When Nora woke up the next day, Cherry had already quietly gotten out of bed and was playing with Mrs. Lewis outside. Nora took a look at her cell phone. Aside from dozens of missed calls from the Smiths, there was also one from her aunt Irene. Irene, who was her aunt on her father's side of the family, had been the kindest to her during all these years. It was because of her that Nora still had a good relationship with her cousin Lisa. Thinking she would get to speak with Irene, Nora returned the call. Someone picked up very quickly, but it was her father's voice that rang out, not Irene's. "Well, here I was, thinking that you'd already abandoned the family, Nora." She rolled her eyes lazily and got out of bed to get something to eat. "What's up?" "Don't give me your attitude. What happened yesterday? Did you sabotage Anthony's proposal to your sister? She said you attacked her. You've been saying for years that you wanted to cancel your engagement. Now that you've gotten your way, why are you trying to get Anthony back again? He's Angela's now." Nora sighed. It had always been like this, ever since she had been young. The moment she and Angela had a disagreement, Henry would blame her without even trying to find out the truth. She was depressingly used to it. She said calmly, "Then why didn't he propose to her?" "He was going to, but you've messed everything up now. Come back right now and apologize to your sister. Otherwise, don't blame me if I disown you. Do what you want." Nora was about to hang up, but Henry yelled angrily, "You ungrateful, disobedient brat. This is no time for your attitude. We're in the middle of an emergency with your aunt. Do you even care?" Nora paused. "What's wrong with her? She has a brain tumor. If you have any decency left, then come to the hospital in town. Otherwise, you'll miss your chance to see your aunt for the last time." "I'll be right over." After hanging up, Nora quickly washed up, changed, and went out. When the elevator arrived, there were already 2 smartly dressed women inside. Nora entered and made sure the button for the lobby had been pushed. She leant against the wall and kept her eyes glued to the floor on the ride down. She overheard the discussion between the 2 other women. "Isn't it inappropriate for us to treat him like that? Surely it's corporal punishment." "Don't be ridiculous. We were sent by the old lady. Besides, he didn't even cry. He doesn't talk much at all. I've heard he might be autistic. He just behaves so badly. I have to admit, it felt a little good when I saw him be reprimanded. Being rich is no excuse. He still has to listen to us. But what if the father finds out? He will only find out if Pete doesn't finish his homework, and then that will be Pete's fault. That man is very strict with his son. He might be angry if Pete makes a fuss, but the child is so quiet and stubborn. Even if I didn't give him lunch, I bet he wouldn't say a word about it to his father." When the elevator arrived on the first floor, the 2 tutors walked out and went to eat in the hotel restaurant. Nora, who exited the elevator behind them, frowned. She felt exceptionally uncomfortable. The elevator had brought the women down to her floor, so they could only have come from the presidential suite on the top floor. That could only mean they had definitely been talking about Justin Hunt's son. The cab she had called for had already arrived. She was about to get in the car when she heard a commotion behind her. Sure enough, it was Justin, who had come out with his bodyguards. Nora looked away and got in the car. She got back into her cab as if nothing had happened and had the driver take her straight to the hospital her father had directed her to. There weren't many people in the private facility. Nora checked in at the desk, headed upstairs, and entered the VIP ward. She hadn't even seen her aunt yet when Henry stormed toward her furiously with a contract in his hand. "Nora, you have to sign the ownership transfer agreement for the company today and apologize to your sister while you're at it. Otherwise, it's not just you who will feel the consequences."
Will Nora make peace with her family for her aunt's sake, or will she walk away? How will Justin react if he learns about his son's mistreatment by the tutors? Will Cherry manage to get close enough to Justin to question him about his actions toward her mother? To find out, download the Pocket FM app now. Link in the description. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more gripping stories.